exciting time. It's been exciting for the last a little bit more than a year. This was a perfect opportunity for us to take a look at the COC and see if we wanted to have a new direction.
When we first hired Alexander, we had just built the house. Richard Bradshaw had done a fantastic job. We built this fantastic venue. The COC was riding high, and so we were looking for someone to take us to the next level artistically. And so when we hired Alexander, it was a very clear mandate. We want to be at the top level internationally, artistically. We've got there. But there are other aspects to the business, especially now, that we think were very important.
Things like the digital age. Yes, we were already in the digital age and it was becoming more important. And now we realize that it's part of the salvation of most organizations now, and it's going to continue to be a part going forward.
We have financial challenges. We have all these different things.
We thought it was an opportunity to develop an aspiration statement for the COC, which we did. 3 main objectives: maintain and advance putting on world-class opera on our stage, developing a sustainable economic model to make sure that we have a thriving company that can actually continue to put on that opera, and broadening and appealing to a larger group of patrons.
When you're looking for a new leader for an opera company, you need someone who understands the mechanics of an opera company. There's so many moving parts, so many people involved in putting on a production.
We wanted someone who we knew would be friendly and open, a good ambassador for the art form, to take us to the next level and create some buzz and excitement.
I knew, first of all, we needed somebody and wanted somebody with a great passion for opera and for everything about opera. Backstage, the pit, obviously the singers on the stage, how this whole complicated thing works.
We looked for someone who had strong, proven abilities to be able to be the CEO, to inspire, to motivate, to lead people towards our objectives, and to perhaps have an entrepreneurial spirit. It is, after all, the business of putting on opera, and the artistic side of it is one facet of it, but we need a strong business leader because that's what sustains the ability to put art on the stage.
So we were able to do this in a very sort of organized, methodical way. We struck a committee to do the succession for the general director, and then we did a lot of consultation. We did it with the board, we did it with the staff, and we did it with the wider Canadian Opera Company community, so that when we started our search, we had a pretty clear idea of the sort of candidate we were looking for.
The Canadian Opera Company has run as good a selection process as I've seen. And Alexander Neef's done an amazing job of raising the level of the Canadian Opera Company artistically to be really world-class standard. I think we absolutely want to build on that.
You know, the way I look at it, it's not necessarily only about carrying on a legacy, it's about building on your predecessors' achievements. I've always very much felt that my work at the COC was made possible by what my predecessors had built for the company. So I hope that what we've been doing for the last 12 years, what we've been building, will allow the company to take it yet to another level.
So we were looking for someone who was a bit of an all-rounder.
We didn't rush through it. We did extra interviews when we might not have normally done that, but we really wanted to do it right. It's a big job, and it's a complicated job.
We searched globally, in fact, and so we looked at candidates from, Canadian and international backgrounds, diverse backgrounds, men and women.
We thought this is not the time to hire for the soft skills, positive attitude and future potential. This was time for the hard skills, the proven skills, the leadership, the take the reins, and this person had it in all categories.
The general director is definitely the face and sets the tone for the whole company and has to be a leader that can lead the company forward.
We came up with what I think was an excellent group of candidates.
We picked the best person for the COC, for all the challenges that we face, and for the times right now.
It is my great honor and privilege to announce that the next general director of the Canadian Opera Company will be Perryn Leech. And Perryn, we couldn't be more delighted.
I've always regarded an interview process as being a two-way street. The first interview, of course, is very much like episode 1 of a new series, and you're learning the characters, you're finding out the relationships a little bit, and they're finding out a little bit about you, but you're not really necessarily revealing much of yourself. But as the process went on, I met the staff were extraordinary. I mean, I like to trust my gut of people, and my gut of staff who are there was extraordinarily strong.
Perryn is such a direct person. I think what struck me was the way that he looked us in the eye, he spoke from his heart, and we had every subsequent interview. I just felt very comfortable with him.
Every time I pushed a little bit harder and talked a little bit more, questions that were coming back to me were the questions that I would want to be asked as we start to formulate strategic planning moving forward.
The thing that came through most was his expertise. He is immensely knowledgeable about all facets of the opera business. So not just artistic, not just production, not just ticket sales, everything.
He worked his way up. He was a lighting guy. He was backstage. He worked his way up through various organizations, so he knows the opera world.
I've known Perryn as a person for, I want to say, almost 15 years. And the COC has collaborated with the Houston Grand Opera many, many times during my tenure. So you have someone who comes in to lead the company who knows us well, but who's also a really accomplished professional in his field. And I think those two elements together make for a very strong appointment.
I knew that it was a job that, should the opportunity arise, that I was going to walk over hot coals to get to.
His enthusiasm, his energy, and his vast experience in the industry. He's run the Houston Grand Opera for 9 years, I believe.
Prior to that, he was at Welsh National Opera in the UK. Then before that, he was at the English National Opera. So he's very familiar with a wide swathe of artists, directors, conductors.
You know, the person we picked was leading an opera company that was hit by a hurricane.
We're out of the venue. We're totally assessing what's happened in the venue in terms of the water egress. And we're here with everybody else in Houston, just trying to do the very best we can to help each other.
And led them out of it, found them a new venue to perform in, and has become a fixture and a main player in the community in which he's involved in.
I think that it's so important for the arts not to be seen as this thing that sits aside for only a few people. Absolutely, the arts is for everybody. An opera company is there to serve an entire city. The arts has to be woven through the fabric of the city. People have to understand and welcome the access to the arts of all sorts, from individual artists doing a little bit of busking on a street corner, all the way up to landmark institutional organisations like Canadian Opera Company. You have a national company that is respected the world over, created amazing talents who were found in Canada, brought the stage and done these amazing performances and productions that have then toured around the world. So this isn't rolling the dice at all. This is one of the real crown jewels of the opera world. And I'm not just talking about North America, I'm talking about the opera world.
I'm optimistic he's going to be able to really take us to the next level. As he's said, first and foremost, quality, 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 and then the rest will work to support all of that.
This is the guy who's going to take us to the next level. He's got an artistic vision, but he's also got all the production and business expertise that we need to make this the company for the next 10 years.
Perryn, welcome to your new home. We hope and we know that you will be a well-loved member of the COC family, and we're here to support you in all things.
Hello Toronto, hello Canada. I'm absolutely thrilled to be the next General Director of the Canadian Opera Company, and I cannot wait to get started.